think that was a good choice, right? Because it also made RTF respect Name Chaotic's X expanded out, but Name Chaotic, I think, kind of always wanted to play Kazan here, take it away from Moffin. But Moffin also just as good on the Rasmus. We're going to see that. And we had a 1-2 punch start, Cloak. How do you feel about that?
It's okay. Some of these players are going to be happy to have it. Honestly, the Orb Dancer start is more interesting to me.
Okay.
I think that Orb Dancer is one of I think it's continuously a very underrated awakening. I think that it at least deserves to be regarded as high as other speed awakenings, and I think in some regards it might be better than other speed awakenings, especially on like Brawler. So I think Leo Leon is going to get a lot of value out of Orb Dancer this game. Both teams do have both of their barriers down here. Nice mix up there from Name Chaotic, but Boffin's fast on the play to respond to it.
Absolutely. We also see that now pick that you've been talking about. We have a nice sword angle from Moffin, but unfortunately misses the follow-up strike. Means that Name Chaotic gets the goal there. And that was a fun little interaction there, but it's gonna pan out. We'll have to see, because Leo Leon already has 3 stacks of the orb here. Only 2 more, and he's going to be boosted every time he picks that green thing up.
Yeah, I think it's especially good on Demon Days to have Orb Dancers, because you kind of want to be denying orbs anyways, because it shifts, KO pressure in your team's favor. You're getting to heal your people, you're getting to deny healing from the enemy team, and you're getting that massive speed boost from it on top of that. Pair that with someone like Zintaro, who's already hypermobile, can easily get to those orbs as they're spawning in. And yeah, I mean, you have a recipe for just really high value packed into one awakening. And it does seem like Return to Form are doing quite a good job of keeping possession for the most part. Leo Leon is actually pretty much allowed free reign to get that last orb stack up and running, and they have 2 flips to work with on their side. Return to Form looking quite comfy here.
Yeah, looking quite comfy indeed. Leo Leon, already level 3 Hungry Boy coming in with Leo Leon, making sure the fool has to burn a resource or just get knocked down to death in order to clear that core. And the barrier, and they do take the barrier with that. Leo Leon threatening a second one. The hook from Moffin just stays alive. The fool and A both looking low. They have to use that now heal. But now Name Chaotic with the slicks, with the core flip in hand, looking to pressure the bottom side, rotated immediately out to the top side. Leo Leon boosting it through, but the Arenado pushes it right on back. Great offense from the fool and A. Name Chaotic trying to get the barrier using the core flip, and they do. Moffin Curry does lose strike 4, but A also uses the core flip with nothing to show for it. Leo Leon is looking dangerously low, but Hungry Boy has the supernova up. The fool does not find the angle out, and that means that we see a 2-1 lead from RTF.
Yeah, they definitely seem to be quite favored to win this first set. Something that I do want to kind of preempt here, because I'm a little worried for Name Chaotic, because yes, he has this now for healing, but he has opted for slick kicks this draft, and I think that could mean that this Kazan just gets exploded a little too easily. I'll be interested to see if it becomes a problem. I think it will at least be somewhat of a problem. Like, I expect Name Chaotic to have some problems staying alive against this Zen Vice Rasmus, because they have a ton of damage pressure. But it's possible that it could be like not as big of a problem as I'm anticipating it to be. That's an unfortunate flip burn from the fool. RTF might just close out the set here.
It's looking really low as well. Leo Leon working to push forward, but Name Chaotic is putting a hold to that with the top spin with a pop-up as well. But Leo Leon rotating back to orb, staying alive. This means A is the one getting chunked down now. And it's a lot of pressure on the side of RTF. A taken off the field from the EI rush. Does save the core once though. Supernova coming out, and Leo Leon wins the strike war. And bang, there we go. There's the first set here going to RTF.
Strike war against both members of Polar Cortex that were alive there. Name Chaotic also tried to strike that with the extended Kazan strike. This is an interesting draft. There's no one on RTF to deny the Monumentalist, except Leo Leon says, actually, I will take a bullet for you, team. And does take that awakening so that neither this era nor now get access to it. That being said, there's still plenty of good options for Polar Cortex. We actually get size at the back of the draft for name Chaotic, and then explosive entrance on A is going to be quite nice as well. Mop and Kui getting size is a little spooky. I have to admit, if there's any goalie that you want playing into a Kazan brawler, Rasmus is up there in terms of like goalies that Kazan really struggles with, I would say. So Moffin, like especially with this size, now has the potential to make a lot of problems for name Chaotic on offense. But for now, I would say that Polar Cortex seem to be handling themselves relatively well, even though both their barriers are gone.
Yeah, both barriers gone, but the pool is looking stronger for that situation. Hungry Boy almost taken off the field, but not enough power, not quite yet. And that supernova is threatening as ever as A and name Chaotic scatter. And we see the rush coming out. We have the flip, just, oh my gosh, immediately using it and striking it past A down to the bottom. And Leo Leon immediately giving RTF a lead here on the second set.
And the way that Leo Leon got into position for that play was actually by walking backwards across the field to grab Moffin's orb, and then using the orb speed to run back up, as well as get flip off of it. I mean, Leo Leon really, I can't wait to see what this dude's orb stat is at the end of the game. I have to imagine that he's collecting probably at least 50% more orbs than anyone else in this match, getting super value out of that Orb Dancer Awakening. RTF does have 2 defensive flips here, but Polar Cortex are looking quite good, probably going to force them out here. There's the first one. Moffin has to burn. The Kazan core stop in the corner there, but it gets defended away from name Chaotic's flip.
Hungry Boy also has a flip, uses it to seal the deal, but A still with the Now Dorito gets the core back in, and the Maelstrom, that's going to be so hard to clear. And there we go. The full all the way from downtown, getting that Aerostorm, getting the core in there, and equalizing the point count here.
Yeah, really good stall from the side of Polar Cortex to set up for that Maelstrom. It can be really, really hard to make the Maelstrom plays happen sometimes, especially if the enemy team is anticipating it and just, removes the core from you as fast as possible. But that was a really good play from A and name Chaotic to set up perfectly for that Era ult. And wow, this orb speed from the Fool actually allows him to run all the way up, send another Maelstrom in there, but that time it does get cleared away by Moffin. No problems there. They do lose a barrier on the other side of it, but Polar Cortex are looking quite a bit more comfortable this set. They're actually a point up at set point here.
Yeah, Polar Cortex, they've been really putting in work. I love the offense here of Hungry Boy and Leo Leon. Hungry Boy just setting up the Supernova, just clearing, making so much space for Leo to just take the barrier there. But unfortunately, that's Visol does take a long time to come back, and we have every advantage in the meantime from A and the Fool, who are having quite a bit of a problem getting out from the corner. Name Chaotic dashing in, but the core does flip out now, but Moffin keeping it in with that size. And now A and the Fool have to clear out using their skills. Name Chaotic loses a strike war against Moffin. The Supernova comes out, no barrier this time though, and Leo's slice and dice isn't going to just make the cut quite yet. Thunderstruck stops the ball, gets it away from the Maelstrom, and Hungry Boy getting chunked down from Name Chaotic. But same can be said for A, who is brought down in power play here from RTF, but they do lose their second barrier, 1-for-1 barrier trade. Not bad at all, and Name Chaotic has a flip as well.
Yeah, I would say this is a very good position for Polar Cortex here. The energy is firmly in their favor, especially because Leo just had to burn that flip and now has no stagger and no evade. Hungry Boy does manage to find that second barrier, but this is a really scary position. Name Chaotic opts to use the hook to keep core control there, so Leo Leon stays alive for now, but he gets the orb here, actually runs up on the Fool. Nothing found though quite yet. Name Chaotic still has this flip. They can get it to him. Good! Using the hook to get past the Raz primary. Very high value there. Almost manages to slide it in, but Moffin Kui has just enough size to respond.
Yeah, so strong, and even getting it past the Maelstrom, the Fool have to use the core flip right now. Name Chaotic trying to keep the core in offense, but the Chain Lightning actually confuses the goalie a little bit, and there's the things from A, and that's an unfortunate situation, but at the end of the day, Polar Cortex, they're going to be really happy about that set.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's rapid fire. I mean, there's no awakening that you would rather see your Kazan get here besides, like, maybe Tempo Swing. But like, I mean, come on, he gets twice as much benefit from this awakening as everyone else, and it is also the awakening that everyone else in this draft wants. Rapid fire is such high value, but especially on Kazan. That's team player falling to Moppin, some extra haste on the full, as well as longer range specials, which is nice. Pretty much everyone got what they wanted out of this draft, I would say. A is also gets first spark here, which is totally fine. There's a lot more damage on the forward duo of Leo Leon and Hungry Boy, but I mean, Name Chaotic now just has essentially, what, 50% more primaries compared to what he used to have. So that's a very spooky Kazan, and we still have a size awakening on the table. We have tempo swing. There's plenty of stagger to get. There's a lot of room to scale for both of these teams, and whoever takes this next set is going to get their dibs on the next round of it.
Yeah, spooky Kazan, but not if they're off the field, and that's exactly what's happening as power play given, A looking low, immediately Hungry Boy and Leo Leon capitalize on that player count deficit and get the goal in. So, I mean, can we talk a little bit about heavy impact and senior on the side of Hungry Boy and Leo Leon?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to chip away at the side of Polar Cortex very consistently. But, I've never seen anyone do that before.
What was that? Yeah,
that KO right there. He hooked Leo to get the chip damage so that when he popped the pop-up, it was just enough damage to actually stagger him and finish him off. I've never seen a Kazan kill like that before. that was a very cool and niche combo.
Yeah, Name Chaotic picked up 2 kills within like 10 seconds of each other, I believe. I mean, maybe that's the power of that rapid fire Kazan. Waffen has to sacrifice the barrier to get the clear, but not even that. A keeps the core in. And now we're seeing a lot of coordinated core control plays out from Polar Cortex, and they get double barriers. We have Name Chaotic up there. The Umbrella is on open for him, though, and they're going to push it through. Unfortunately, not quite into the goal. Misses the strike. Hungry Boy gets to clear out. The full, though, holding it strong in the back line. Gets the pop-up, gets the strike. And Name Chaotic, they are looking absolutely crazy.
Yeah, so comfortable on this Kazan pick. Yeah, any Kazan doubters, feast your eyes. This character absolutely has what it takes to contend with even the incredibly strong brawler pool in this patch. That being said, both barriers do fall here, so Polar Cortex are briefly back in a little bit of a scared position, but this bit of possession might be exactly what they need to get this game back under their control.
Yeah, a great angle here from Hungry Boy. Fine, pushes the core down to Leo Leon, who just only blades it, and what do you do if you're the full? You just kind of die there, and your orb stacks are reset.
Monumentalist Centauro, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, the impact didn't do anything there. It was all Monumentalist, right?
Yeah, no, Name Chaotic is causing so many problems whenever he's actually able to get the core. But for now, Return to Form are doing a really good job of keeping possession. Hungry Boy does actually take a staggering amount of damage there. I say staggering, but he's still got enough health to not be quite staggered. Leo Leon grabs that second barrier there, and they're looking pretty comfortable here. Return to Form, bringing this one back under their control.
Yeah, that absolutely. And Name Chaotic was the one actually staggered the Maelstrom coming out, trying to push through with it, and it works until it doesn't. Leo Leon puts the core back into RTF position. Hungry Boy right there waiting for it. The offense continuing on the top corner, but the full trying to rotate it down. Supernova coming down, and a nice down Dorito. Unfortunately, A is looking low though, and it's staggered. And what an angle from Leo Leon, 500, securing the third set for RTF.
Yeah, that's a big set to win. There is so much scaling potential here. We have both of the big stagger awakenings on the table here, as well as Ad Rush. I have to imagine that Leo is probably eyeing Ad Rush, but I think stagger would also be a reasonable deny. Yeah, no, you can't be passing up Ad Rush. Still though, stagger and power on Name Chaotic is a massive boon for the side of Polar Cortex. There's still plenty of other opportunities. I like the timeless pickup on A's now. I think that's really good, especially considering he's already got explosive entrance, so the extra range on the secondary gets some additional value with the hasted now secondaries. again, that's kind of just a draft where everyone got what they wanted. I would say the Fool is really the one who's the most left out to dry there. Probably didn't particularly want Demolitionist, but you also don't want Demolitionist falling back to Moffin. So it makes sense that he opted for that. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh my goodness.
RTF are 1 point up in this third set. Fourth set. I know how to count.
Yeah, I mean, it can get a little hard, but that was a pretty fast point, I gotta say. 24 seconds. We were seeing a lot of damage. A was taken off the field, and this Maelstrom actually was threatening as well, taking the first barrier. And great holds, but unfortunately the Fool does lose their first barrier, and now Named Chaotic being denied the orbs continuously. Leo is just munching on orbs, getting sped up each time, but the barrier does fall on the side of RTF. They have to be a little bit more careful about the defense. Leo and Hungry Boy are poised to take that barrier, but the Fool finds the out angle. Mockingbird primaries it right on back, and Hungry Boy finds the nice little strike positioning. Oh my gosh. And Leo Leon takes advantage of that barrier gate opening and gets it in. And now all of a sudden, Cloak, we're on match point.
Yeah, no. RTF have managed to turn this around. That second set really didn't go their way, but ever since then, they've been on a roll. It seems like they're doing a really good job constantly pressuring everybody with this damage and knockback. I'm actually surprised at the amount of knockback KOs they've been able to find.
Yeah, where did the Fool go? And it's a power play all of a sudden. Hungry Boy chunks down Named Chaotic. They have to defend on their low sum. The Fool is back though, and but still it's zero barriers to 2. Leo Leon is looking low though, and a nice hook does mean, and Hungry Boy does take the orb. Leo Leon is going to be staying staggered a little while longer. Nice dodge on the Air Beam though, trying to find a way out. But Hungry Boy and Mockingbird playing some defense on their side of the field. Power play now for POLR Vortex. They have to make this point count. Barrier goes away. But there's still a second one. Named Chaotic is looking low though, and the power play is about to be over. Nice Maelstrom pushing Hungry Boy all the way back. A is there playing with the now Dorito. The Fool gets defensive core flip up, and the Supernova is going to be held. The Oni's blade is there, and the Thunderstruck is there. And that means Leo Leon is going to get the court in. And just like that, RTF, a really comfortable final set.
Yeah, no, really well navigated game from them. I have to say, like, the drafts were clean. I like that Leo Leon was willing to deny the Monumentalist there in that early draft. I think that saved RTF a lot of pain, not having to deal with Monu now. Because after all, A was the leader in redirects and was getting so much value out of the healing, especially in those early sets before the damage snowball was really able to come online for RTF. So shutting down A was a really smart play by Leo. And then just winning those couple of extra sets in the middle gave RTF just enough room to get the Stinger online, get the ad rush on Leo Leon. And from there, it was game, set, match. I mean, 42,000 damage on Leo, nearly double what almost everyone else in the lobby managed to do, and 6 KOs to their name. Really, really well played by RTF. And of course, Moffin did a fantastic job responding to that Kazan, especially once he got hot shot and that extra bit of size to make those primaries consistently land and get so much value. Really, really well played from RTF. I'll be interested to see how these teams change things up moving into game 2. What map are we headed to next, Pato?
I'm not quite sure, so I'm relying on the stream to look at it, but it doesn't show yet. But I think that we are going into RTF's map pick, which again is always dangerous. You want to. No, we're not. We're going to POLR's map pick, which is actually good. They get a chance to kind of show what they want to do, what they're the best at, and I want to talk a little bit more about the stakes that are at hand here. RTF has had a 4-4 record, and that puts them in a pretty comfortable spot for playoffs. I think, one of their worst case scenarios, they have to play a 3-way tiebreaker, which definitely isn't great for them. You want to avoid tiebreakers if you can. But if they win against POLR, I'm pretty sure they are guaranteed 5th place. They locked in their spot in the playoffs. They're going to be sitting comfy. Maybe not as quite high in the playoff bracket as they want, but hey, it's you still made it. Whereas the Polar Cortex, they want to win here against RTF. They want to, if they win against RTF here, their chances for playoffs, they go pretty high. They don't rely on too many variables. But if they lose here against RTF, they have to start praying to most gods that they know of and hope for something good to happen. So I think the map here we are going into is that
Gates.
Is that Gates?
Gates Obscura. Yeah.
So it's
that's
a
fun map. Polar's map pick.
Yeah,
so good news for them that they're taking this to home territory. I have to say, I'm going to be. I think a lot of what's about to happen is going to rest on the draft. I think Moffin's character pool is interesting for this map. I'm trying to think about how I think this matchup is going to play out on the defensive side for return to form. Because if you have Moffin running either Kazan, Finny, or Rasmus, those are not traditional goalies in for Gates Obscura.
Yeah, you want to see like the Dubu or something like that. And immediately RTF actually bans it out. That's very smart of them. They're not going to use it, so they might as well ban it. I mean, we have Monumentalist Heavy Impact Start. These are two super high impact awakenings, and you can see Polar. I think that's a ban targeted towards Moffin, right? You don't want to see Moffin on Finny using the Monumentalist. What are the options here? We have the Asher pickup. I think that's names.
That's
RTF's Asher.
It could also be Moffin.
That's Leo's.
Moffin has been known to play Asher from time to time. His past experimentations that I've witnessed have not been super successful with the Asher, but it's been a long time since I've seen him play it, so he could have learned some new tricks. He might be more consistent on it than when I last saw him. The Vice Centauro draft from Polar here, though, is really scary with that heavy impact start.
Yeah, both are going to be absolute, best in slots, and it's going to be very scary. I wonder. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be names Asher and Moffin's Rasmus, right? I guess it could be the opposite. I mean, this is Moffin's character pool does make this interesting, as you said, but we'll have to see how this is going to be A's pick. At least we know that, and I think how RTF round. I think how Polar rounds the last pick out is going to be big because RTF just took their Estelle. Oh, what am I? Okay, my eyesight isn't super amazing here. Okay, so RTF took Estelle. Polar has.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Okay, my bad. I'm a lobster. So this is regular comps from both sides.
This has to be Asher Brawler. Yeah, this has to be named Chaotic on Asher. It doesn't make sense to run Rasmus Estelle forward duo here because you're not going to have anybody who can reliably hold the out clear, especially against an Atlas. You need that Asher to fulfill that role, especially on Gates where that out clear is like kind of the place that every goalie wants to clear the core.
Right.
You need someone who can really hold it down. Oh, and wait, hold on. This is reversed. Okay, this is RTF running the Rasmus. Yeah, okay, that's what we thought. We thought. Yeah, this is Leo. Yeah. This is Leo on the Asher. Moffin is running the Rasmus goalie. Okay, I'm a little worried about the Rasmus goalie on this map. I don't know how much value they're going to get out of that, but it is Moffin. This is one of his signature picks. So we could be about to see some cookery, even though it's a very non-traditional goalie.
Yeah. I mean, I think what worries me most is the Vicen damage coming out. It's going to be quite potent with the heavy impact. And Awakenings, I think we have about what we expected. Except Leo Leon goes for the Monumentalist over heavy impact here on the Asher.
Yeah. We're going Monu. It's those Asher ults are going to be pretty devastating to deal with in the corner if they can get Leo possession with that Astral. Of course, he doesn't have it yet because he's still level 1 for the time being, and both barriers have already been taken by Polar Vortex.
Yeah, Moffin's going to have to pull some magic defending this open net. It's going to be a Hungry Boy for now, just double defense. It's level 2, immediately using that the Crystal Thorns here. And Name Chaotic was threatened to take off the field here, holding the Zentaro passive, the dash for and more in, still holding, but the core slips through the full nice strike shot. And Name Chaotic has to use the Zentaro primary, get out of there. And now A controlling some space, passing it to Name. And now Leo Leon looking very, very low. Name looking very low. It's looking like a damage field game here. And a great play from the Fool. Moffin does save it with the hook. Great defense off the open net. Name Chaotic, great dribble. Threatening goal here, trying to kill Leo. Is surviving. Takes about like 75% of their HP for just taking that orb. And A just flipping it through. Moffin does get the angle out. And Leo, great fast splitter now with the flip, is going to push it through A. And there we go. RTF, we have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that was a hard pot point for them. It was really scary on multiple fronts, but they managed to pull out the point. Moffin also getting this heavy impact. Maybe we were talking about, you know, the Zentaro and the Vice, but Rasmus, especially on goalie, gets a lot of value out of heavy impact, I would say. Especially because, weirdly enough, so the Rasmus changes. Oh, what a kill from Moffin. The hook into flip.
That was a nasty kill.
I do want to talk about the whiplash changes for Moffin.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for Rasmus Brawler, it was definitely a nerf, right? Because you want to be able to threaten with that speed. But being able to get that massive burst of speed for just a short chunk of time on goalie, when generally you want to be using it quickly anyways for Rasmus goalie, it's actually a bit of a buff.
I see.
We're already seeing Moffin get quite a lot of value out of this whiplash, unfortunately. Not right there, for example, but yeah, that'll be Polar Vortex tying up the set for the time being.
Yeah, I think Hungry Boy had the right idea. Unfortunately, the execution didn't happen. The Rose Warp not quite landing on the core. And we're seeing a lot of damage onto Leo Leon. He's actually being chunked down once again. A just using primary, but turns it on its head. A is the one taken off the field. Now Name Chaotic trying to make sure the power play isn't too threatening here, but the pass splitter and the core flip more than enough to take the first barrier of the Fools. And A is back, power play is over, but still the Fool is has to use their core flip. Leo Leon has to abort mission. Name Chaotic's on a mission to kill Leo Leon 500. And Hungry Boy is also looking low and staggered. Moffin putting on a great defense. Hungry Boy using the piercing shot, staying relevant as a steal. But that Thunderstruck coming down from A, Name Chaotic dashing in, EI Rush popped, taking the barrier. Leo having to use the primary in that situation, going towards the portal side, rotating up to Hungry Boy to the non-portal side, but Name Chaotic finds that out. And now, once again, we have the core reset to neutral, the Fool passing it out to A. Name Chaotic trying to put a lot of damage onto Hungry Boy, has the core flip as well. Hungry Boy is on a fight for their lives, staying still, but still not going to be enough for that Zentaro kill confirm. And now power play for Polar Vortex. They want to win this point. They want to secure the point lead here. Moffin rotating around 4-4, gates open. Name Chaotic did use their EI Rush for this. Nice pass from A. Name Chaotic not able to find the one angle, but the full great dribble. A is there with the core flip, is burned. Leon pass splittering into nothingness. Unfortunately, the core is out of there. A is all healed up, still has no evade, and we're going to see the core go faster and faster as Leo is there with the flip ready in hand. Still chunked down quite low. Piercing shot not able to make it. Supernova is going to clear the core out. Leo Leon using the flip to keep it in, using the primary as well, and we see barrier counts equalize. Name Chaotic playing 1v1 with Moffin. Great hook from the Rasmus, rotating it through. A is there though, and now the Fool using the secondary. Nice rotation down from Moffin Curry, aware of the Zentaro passive, and now A strikes it. It misses. The Fool does use the core flip, but A finding the demon angle. Polar Vortex are on point here, and oh my goodness, that was a really crazy angle from A.
Yeah, no, fantastic rebound off of the Fool's flip, and at that point almost went so bad for them, but good capitalization on an opportunity, and good turn of fate for the side of Polar Vortex. Good strike shots from the Fool as well. Not the first one of those strike shots that has made a difference this game, He's been really on the dot with those strike shots, and the flip gets taken off by Dame Chaotic. A massive power play for the side of Polar Cortex here.
Pushing up is the full and A, making sure Name can just do their work, do their Zentaro work on the other side. Name's brought down low though, and the full Hungry Boy is on the hunt for Name as Leo Leon path splittering it through the other side. The full has to hold using the Celestial Intervention, but Name Chaotic kind of bullied off it. Leo is looking very low here. Name wants to kill confirm, but Leo is just waiting at the portal, just taunting them as he makes the great escape into the orb. Moffin is playing the midfielder, and that's gonna be Leo going through potentially a 3v1 here for Moffin using the flip. Unfortunately, Name was a little bit faster on the trigger, and now they have to do a 2v1. Not gonna happen. A securing the first set for Polar Cortex, and great start on Gates.
Yeah, and I mean, taking set 1 here for Polar Cortex just means that their momentum only gets to build further. We have Ad Rush on the field here. I mean, you have to take that. A almost certainly will be taking Ad Rush here. Actually opts for Spark instead. Yeah, I think Ad Rush probably was the right pick, because now Hungry Boy just gets to deny it. I mean, that being said, like, the kill pressure is still very much on Polar Cortex's side, but like Ad Rush was a big snowball opportunity there potentially. Still plenty left at the back of the draft here. Moffin gets fire up. The Fool gets glass cannon. Leo Leon getting timeless is whatever. I don't think it was really necessary. I mean, it does make the Astral that much more threatening, but really what RTF need right now is more consistency of getting these plays started in the first place, right? Not necessarily making them more potent once they actually get moving. They've been doing fine once they can actually get the core in front of the Fool. It's just very inconsistent that they're able to make that happen.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Name Chaotic brought down low though, and that might be something that Polar Cortex needs to worry about here. Is playing around the midfield line. Moffin just casually hooks the Zentaro out of the play, and now Hungry Boy has a piercing shot ready, but the Supernova is going to relieve some of that pressure. Nice passing between the goalie and the midfield, and Leo Leon, give him the ball, he will give you the goal. First point of the second set goes to RTF.
And an immediate nice prophetic resolution to what I was just talking about. It literally took one opportunity of RTF getting on offense, and then they never lost possession and just scored both barriers and then the goal right there after. Yeah, I mean, their offense is looking really strong when they can actually get it moving, which they've managed to acquire possession again right here.
Yeah, I want to see more of Leo's pass splitter. It's just huge and kind of crazy looking. But I think Hungry Boy and Moffin have to do some defense first. Leo's looking low. Hungry just picked up an orb, so that's okay. I mean, great attack on the other side of the field. Leo Leon is making quick work right now of the full flip used from A, trying to kill Leo, but his gate, so it's a little tricky. Does get the kill though with a nice primary from the Bison. Now Moffin has to play some defense on the other side. Hungry has no evade, and A is keeping the core in that corner for days, winning every strike war. I mean, great strike shot from the Bull, even uses a primary to keep the core in play. Pass splitter coming out, that just takes up the second side of the map, and Hungry Boy just gets the core and gets it in.
I gotta say, fantastic patience from Moffin there. I feel like, you know, a lot of goalies in that situation are going to feel pressured to just use a cooldown and try to get it out as soon as possible. But the fact that he kept his cooldowns up and as a constant threat for A and Name Chaotic to worry about is actually, in my opinion, like what made that defense work so well. Because they couldn't just go in on the Rasmus because they knew that he had tools to resolve. And then Hungry Boy did a fantastic job supplementing that defense. But that being said, Name Chaotic, recognizing how much of a problem Moffin is, and actually just says, you know what, you're not going to be able to play the game. No stagger, I'm KOing you. And it's a power play for the side of Polar Cortex.
Yeah, and Name Chaotic has that fight or flight. If he staggers Moffin, he's going to have the second dash. Pass splitter used defensively, and now a Supernova in hand, ready. Leo Leon actually a great strike and holds from that Supernova, but that does mean that Asher is looking really low. The Bull just setting the Celestial Intervention, but waits it out, does Leo, and that gets the kill traded, but that was still a great clear out, great defense from RTF. But not if the Bull gets a double KO. Once again, a power play coming out on the side of Polar Vortex, but Muffin with a great whiplash, a great pendulum swing gets the first barrier actually. So it's a negative value on that power play, and now it's over. Hungry Boy is back, so they handle that very, very well. Leo Leon trying to hold, but Name Chaotic gets the flip in anyway. A did use that Supernova though, but it's still Polar Vortex having to play defense for a little while longer. Great angle found, but Hungry Boy passes back to Moth and Kobe. A backwards pass, but are trying to get some pressure onto A, but Name Chaotic is there. Zintaro's looking really low. That whiplash almost takes him off the field. Celestial Intervention was there. Name Chaotic heals up at least a little bit. Leo has a flip. Name Chaotic is going to dribble down. Hungry Boy just chaining it in the full, trying to answer with a flip, but that's going to be a 3-0 set for RTF.
Yeah, I mean, there were some really good plays made there by Polar Vortex, but at the end of the day,
there was.
Moffin's defense was just so consistent and so efficient. And then, as we've already pointed out, once you get it up to Hungry Boy and Leo, they make plays. I mean, it is just... honestly, everything about what RTF is doing right now is hyper efficient, which is why these power plays are really the only opportunity that Polar Vortex have to make plays happen. Spark gets denied away by Leo Leon here, but A is not too upset, still gets explosive entrance towards the back of the draft. And Hot Shot on Hungry Boy and Deadeye on Moffin are both fantastic pickups. The Fool manages to secure Catalyst, which is good because you really don't want Moffin to be having Catalyst with the fire up pickup that he already has. It's a lot more damage for the side of Polar Vortex, but there's also like just so much more consistent core control value that was just picked up by Return to Form. So it's tough to say who exactly won that draft. I think that both teams are pretty satisfied.
Absolutely, yeah. Leo is taken off the field by A, and we're going to see a power play on the side of Polar Vortex, and they want to make this one count. Barriers are open. Supernova coming out, pushing Hungry Boy back, and Name Chaotic trying to set up for some kind of proc fight or flight maybe. Hungry Boy does have core flip though, but we're going to see Name Chaotic take that off of them real quick. And we have a core flip, Name Chaotic and A coming in. There's the first one. Oh, but the second one has to be used by Name Chaotic because Leo Leon put on just so much pressure there. And now that double flip power play, it's kind of gone for naught. And Hungry Boy is back, Name Chaotic looking low. And the Bull does have a defensive flip though, and they're going to use the Astral Protection first, gets it around Leo Leon all day. I mean, the Bull, oh my goodness. Oh! Name Chaotic just finds that red core through Moffin's primary. And a great play coming out from RTF. Or not RTF, sorry, Polar Vortex.
Yeah, really good eye from Name Chaotic to recognize that Moffin was going to try to use the Rasmus primary there, right? And you're locked into that animation as soon as you cast it. So he was able to make a play for that goal. It's that kind of creativity that's really the kind of missing component of what Polar Vortex have going on here. They're getting power plays. They're getting barriers at more or less the same rate as RTF. But in this open net, Moffin has just been such a formidable wall. It really does seem kind of insurmountable at times. He's able to just hold for ages and ages and ages, especially with Hungry Boy's help. So it's really tough. It's really, really tough.
Absolutely, yeah. And especially on a map like Gates, where the barrier seems like everything at times. That, oh my goodness, the Fool almost holds that, but Leo dashing in, securing the goal. I mean, like you said, Cloak, Leo Leon, once he gets the core, he makes the plays happen.
Yeah, and they actually managed to hold on to both of their flips there as well. So a slight energy advantage towards the side of RTF. There's the massive Pat Splitter coming out again, but Leo's flip is forced out by A. A flips in return. Moffin Kui still has his, though, and even though Hungry Boy is staggered, no KO is found, and the double barrier comes from Leo.
Yeah, double barrier looking really uncomfortable with the open net. Suddenly, Atlas is looking very slow, very vulnerable without that strike shot value. A having to use Thunderstruck defensively. The core slipping through the portal. Name is on top of it, but Moffin still wins. Moffin has a defensive core flip as well, so this is looking very well defended for RTF as Leo sets up with that massive pass splitter once again. Core slips through portal. Name is waiting, but Moffin also was Rasmus Hook coming out, rotating the core around, and that flip from Hungry Boy, taking it to the top corner. A does clear it though, but Muffin is backing them up expertly. Name has to backwards EI rush defensively, trying to hold Celestial Intervention coming out, saving Name from certain doom and death and gloom. But that pendulum swing is so good. The full rotates up, but there is no way out with Hungry Boy's piercing shot, stealing the deal.
Yeah, good catch from Hungry Boy, who I've also just now realized is running slick kicks on Estelle. Been a while since I've seen someone run slick kicks on Estelle, but I mean, I talked earlier about how this is kind of a sign of the times. Slick kicks is seeing itself favored over mag souls, even on characters like Estelle, who traditionally essentially only runs mags, to my knowledge. So, sign of the times, the fire-up flip comes out from Moffin, no longer has that defensive flip to work with, but they have a power play to work with instead.
Yeah, Hungry Boy's looking a little low though, so it still could be dangerous, but Name Chaotic using a lot of cooldowns, trying to save the core from Leo Leon. The Fool has a defensive flip as well. They might need to burn it here, and they get the barrier around Moff and Koei, and IA is back. Things are looking up and up for Polar Cortex. They have both barriers behind them. Name Chaotic gets the core. Hungry Boy wins that strike war though, and Leo Leon trying to save the core, stalling it with the pass splitter. The Fool rotates it out to Hungry Boy, pushing it through with the astral projection. Name Chaotic dashing up, not quite there yet with the dash range. Muffin putting on a show of a defense. Whiplash coming out. Supernova though, putting Leon low, and that's a kill from Name. And now we have the portal rotations coming out. Once again, astral projection coming in, mind gaming Muffin and A little bit actually. Name is the one backwards passing to the Fool, and they're trying to find any opening. And this Thunderstruck, the power core coming out, unfortunately, wasn't enough. Hungry Boy looking low once again, but Leo is back. Power play is over, and now RTF are the ones on the offense. Pass splitter comes out, answering back with the secondary, with the Atlas. Name Chaotic almost has core flip, is ready to kill Hungry Boy off the field. Power play once again, never ending from Polar Cortex. Name Chaotic has to core flip. Leo has to run away, pushing it through the portal, dribbling with A, trying to make some space. Double defense on the side of RTF, and buying so much time. Hungry Boy is back, and Polar Cortex, time and time again, they don't find the killing blow, but this could be it with the core flip. Name Chaotic, but not even this, and they start losing a barrier. It's a trickle on the side of RTF, but it can turn into something much worse. A, holding on, using the core flip. Name Chaotic holding onto their own, trying to find an angle, slicing and dicing it, trying to get it through Muffin, who does hold once again. Leo is there with the core flip. The Fool holds once. Crystal Thorns keeping the core in play, using the core flip, and now getting it. The Fool wasn't able to hold. Both barriers are open, but now Name Chaotic is going to find another power play here for Polar Cortex. But they didn't make it work the first two times. This is the third time, potentially using the core flip. Unfortunately, hits air. The Fool passing it to A, but the flip from the Fool used offensively, and finally it connects with A. Finally, they find the net, and Polar Cortex, we go to 0.5 here.
0.5, but they had to burn everything to make that happen, leaving two flips on the side of Return to Form that now they have to deal with. And we've already been seeing them have so much trouble breaking through the defense of Moff and Kui and Hungry Boy. With two flips to their name, it's going to be even harder, and this offense is only getting stronger and more momentous, at least until Leo gets taken out.
Yeah, this is a lot of knockback, a lot of punch here coming out from the from everybody, honestly, on the side of Polar Cortex. They find a double power play here. We have them taking turns with each other as RTF trying to stay alive in the game on gates. They lose the first barrier. Password coming out towards that Supernova, but now we have a Leo Leon looking low. Name Chaotic doing the damage. 1-2 A with the power cord. Once again, power play for Polar Cortex. The damage just keeps on coming. Hungry Boy doing a lot of stalling, but it's A and Name Chaotic on the forward side now. The Fool just there, getting the core towards them. Nice rotation using the portals, using that flip offensively, and A almost threads the needle there was Name Chaotic, but is a little below half health now, looking a little scary. But does dodge that pendulum swing, is going to be able to heal up, and the Thunderstruck with the Oni's Blade is going to be just what they need. Polar Cortex take a set lead over RTF.
Yeah, fantastic navigation at that point by Polar Cortex. Just letting RTF group up in the corner there and hitting them with every single ability. As long as the Fool holds, RTF's not going to have the stagger on the other end to survive. And then the snowball of power plays let them close out that set. They're rewarded with rapid fire on the Fool's Atlas, one of the best awakenings that he could possibly ask for here. Of course, it does mean that he has to pass up missile propulsion, but you're not about to let Moffin get rapid fire. That sounds like a bad idea. Moffin's actually going to opt for tempo swing here, which is very interesting. I don't know if he's afraid of dying. I feel like he should have just taken stagger. If you want, that's true. You really don't want Name Chaotic having tempo swing. Yeah, you're right. It is probably a deny. The amount of damage that would be coming out from Name Chaotic would be very disgusting.
Yeah, Name Chaotic does pick up size on the Zentaro, and I guess Leo Leon's just going full creation Asher here now with the missile prop as well. Is looking very low, I would say, and even if they do an equal amount of damage, the Fool uses the Celestial Intervention, Name Chaotic is back, and Leo Leon has to run for the orbs, which isn't bad. They're tasty, but you're taken out of the plays, and Hungry Boy has to play Brawler, which he's seemingly quite good at right now at the forefront here. A does clear it with the Supernova. The core is still kept in play. Moffin is there, Pass Splitter is there, but we see that offense thwarted by the Fool's core flip, and Hungry Boy loses control to core slightly, but his back is using the piercing shot, and there we go. RTF are back in this. They stop the momentum of Polar Vortex.
Yeah, we'll have to see whether or not that was a fluke, if they can keep this up. Because I will say, the builds on A and the Fool are kind of disgusting looking. A has 152 power with heavy impact and explosive entrance. So every single one of those Vice abilities deals a devastating amount of damage. And they do have 2 flips here. But historically, Moffin has been very, very comfortable, regardless of the quantity of flips. And he actually manages to immediately convert this into an offense. A burns 1 flip to get it off. And it's a bit of a back and forth here.
Yeah, back and forth, but we do see the power play start piling up here for Polar Vortex. They have a start. They're bringing Hungry Boy down low. Nice dodge on the EI, just giving the barrier. And that's okay because that stops them from chaining the power plays here. A is actually one looking low offensively, taking the Thunderstruck, but that means Hungry Boy is able to rotate back at the orbs and is getting wailed on by Name Chaotic, and the Fool and A have a great defense going on the bottom, and that Pass Splitter is dodged. That stops the momentum here from RTF. Supernova comes out, Leo Leon looking very low, the Fool very wide to pre-use the flip there to make sure the Supernova can be charged up a little more. They do lose the barrier though, the flip is out. Hungry Boy tries to go up, but the Fool is there, and power play for Polar Vortex despite a barrier deficit here. And Hungry Boy Moffin putting on a great defense here. That pendulum swing takes the core very quickly, very far. A great redirect here, core going through the portals, and a very aware of the angles that Moffin is using to find the out clear, but the core is still there with Leo Leon. The Fool avoids that interaction. The Pass Splitter coming out so huge, stalls the Fool. Leo Leon gets the goal in, and RTF are looking to take this to a set 5.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well. I'm surprised that Leo has managed to live. I would have thought that he would have been killed, I don't know, 4 times this set. But instead, I think he's only died once, and they're doing quite a good job of keeping it alive. The fire up flip comes out, but they managed to keep possession through it. Polar Vortex, unfortunately, do lose possession, though, and Moffin gets a double barrier there. Name Chaotic has a flip, but it's a barrier advantage towards the side of RTF.
Yeah, we have to start thinking about what's going to be in the next draft, but Name Chaotic has a flip. The Fool also does have a flip. Hungry Boy and Leo Leon trying to make best work. Double Pass Splitter coming out. Catches 2, but unfortunately it doesn't work out. The core doesn't touch the barrier of Moffin. There we go. A or Name Chaotic has to burn a flip there. And now we see Leo get that kill. Celestial Intervention slightly too late. The Fool's focused on other things, like the core going into the net. Oh no. RTF, they are back. They have the momentum. They're going to set 5.
Yeah, well played from them. I mean, the win condition for them is end these points just soon enough that we don't die, which of course was helped out by the extra survivability they picked up in that last draft. That being said, here it's a game of denials. They're feeling like they're up right now, so it's extra special picked up by Hungry Boy. That does mean, though, that A gets second spark. That's strength and spark of focus on that Vice, who, as we already mentioned, has a disgusting kit. That's a very, very solid pickup for the side of Polar Vortex. It's team player on Moffin, which is good if the points go longer. It's, obviously RTF doesn't want the points to go longer, but if they go longer, they have a little bit less of a disadvantage now. And then Name Chaotic gets Berserker, which is whatever, and the Fool getting Orb Dancer might allow them to capitalize a little bit more on these power plays. Possibly he can run up a little more reliably and help take down the absolute beefy defense that has been put out by Return to Form in this game.
Yeah, the Fool finding a great out clear away from Leo Leon. Leo was like, if Leo took like one side awakening, I think that would have been a barrier, but still, their gameplay of, damaging Leo, taking them off the field is still working. A fully charged Supernova, there was nowhere Leo could run to. And Leo goes out of the field. They have a power play now, does Polar Vortex. Great defense, though, from Muffin and Hungry Boy, who has a flip. Flip is used, and they do take the first barrier, so they do have a lot of value from that power play. Now they have all three members of Polar Vortex is going to have a flip. Hungry Boy, nice Rose Warp, getting it to Muffin, rotating it down to A. And now Name Chaotic's flip, unfortunately, hits air, and they still get it through. Nice flip, defensive usage. But now the energy economy kind of turned on their heads. Polar Vortex uses all three flips somewhat defensively, and the pressure is still on. Polar Vortex, and Leo Leon gets there into the corner with the Fool, who gets it out to A, hitting the corners out using the secondaries, but still the piercing shot finds their mark, and that passer just covers so much of the map. And A getting it through the portal. Muffin is there waiting. They do make a power play happen, double power play, but Muffin is there with the core flip. Name Chaotic is looking dangerously low, so they're limited in terms of where they can go. Muffin's playing on a lot of space. The Fool has to use the strike shot to save that. Name Chaotic's looking low, and the power play is over now. It might be a reverse power play, actually, with how low Name is looking. We're seeing RTF put on a lot of pressure here, and they even have a barrier alive. The Fool has a core flip there, using the astral projection to get it out. And we have the Oni's Blade stalling Muffin just enough, and Polar Vortex trying to end it here, and they do get it. Pendulum Swing misses, and Power Core connects. A putting up Polar Vortex 1-0.
I mean, props to Muffin for stalling that reverse power play as long as he did when he was the only one on the field. But yeah, eventually this KO pressure is just a little too much, and just by nature of them picking up damage awakenings as they get another kill, Polar Vortex have also gotten a lot of core speed on their team, so they're actually like feeling really comfortable the later that these points go.
I see, yeah, and a power play here from Polar Vortex once again. The Fool using the core flip offensively, but still the defense from RTF is just so good. Name Chaotic has a core flip to work with, though, and with the Fool, they're rotating down to the bottom. A is there keeping up the pressure in the top side, but the path splitter coming out, the size is just enormous. Leo Leon still having a healthy amount of HP, is able to stay there in the play. The Fool rotates the core down, away from the Crystal Thorns, away from the piercing shot. A does survive a little longer with the Celestial Intervention. Name Chaotic dribbling it through the portal, dashing in. They have a core flip ready, but the Supernova setup not quite there in time. RTF is able to clear the core out. Leo Leon 1v1 against the Fool, and trying to get it through. The Fool has to use their core flip. Muffin misses the interaction, and now it's a 50-50. Name rotates it down to Muffin, who does react in time. The core is going red as the Fool trying to find an angle to their teammates, using the astral projection through Hungry Boy's Rose Warp. Pendulum Swing slightly slow, and Name Chaotic puts Polar Vortex at match point.
Yeah, a really good core stall there with the Oni's Blade from Name Chaotic. Gets that Rasmus primary out, and then the 1-2 punch passive to the top side secures that goal. 2 points up, and now on match point for Polar Vortex. They're looking quite ready to send us to game 3, especially as they tear through the enemy stagger bars as well as that first barrier.
It's looking really good for Polar Vortex. They have a lot of pressure, and you can tell RTF is feeling it. They're feeling that they might lose this game. And if we go to the third match, they have a lot more to think about here. Nice rotation down from Name. Hungry Boy is on point with the defense. They're starting to rail on the barriers of the Fool. They take the first one. I think they have a pass splitter in the back pocket as well. Nice clear out from Muffin, not risking taking the interaction against Name Chaotic. And now they want to push it through the portal and get the second barrier. And they do with the piercing shot. Muffin is there ready. And Leo Leon is just charging up, trying to getting ready to get into full space here. And Pendulum Swing from Muffin, but Name does read that, stalls it with the Oni's Blade, and they have the flip. They're going to use it, and there we go. We have a 3-0 convincing set 5 for here from Polar Vortex, and both teams they gotta ready up. They got one more game in the series.
Yeah, I mean, a fantastic character draft from the side of Polar Vortex. I didn't talk nearly enough about the Atlas, but I really liked the Atlas goalie that game. The Fool obviously played it fantastically, having second highest redirect count and 123 saves to his name. Yeah, that was really well done by them, and it also, meant that even when Name Chaotic and A got a little low or were getting KO'd, they were the ones that had the res and the heal off of that Atlas ult, which when you're the ones dealing damage, like, it just kind of solidified KO as their win condition in a really clean way. And I mean, with 22 kills across their team, it's evident that Polar Vortex did a fantastic job of executing on that win condition. It was really well played by Return to Form. I mean, we talked a lot about both their defense and their offense, but eventually those power plays just became a little too much for even them to hear.
Yeah, I think a positive thing there is even though they had to deal with a lot of 2v3s, 1v3s, Return to Form kept their cool for the most part. They dribbled, they stalled when they needed to. They weren't just clearing it willy-nilly, and that shows why they did so well on the regular season, firmly in the middle of the pack. But the mental load does get to you eventually, and Polar Vortex didn't miss those, I guess, so to speak. And that just
70,000 damage on Vice will also get to you.
It will get to you eventually. I mean, when you see your teammates just on a constant rotating shift basis, one go in, one go out, it takes a toll on you for sure. But that's a different game. They have to put that past them, and both teams have to put that past them, and they have to prepare for a new map, for new starting awakenings, and see what they can do. And yeah, I think it's going to be a fun game no matter where we go, and hopefully it worked out, because this was Polar Vortex's map pick. They seem, and the starting awakenings really worked out for that comp. Vice then on heavy impact, Atlas on the Monu. That was a really scary start. And RTF still made it so close.
Yeah, I'm curious what we're headed to for this final map. I neglected to look the last time. I immediately saw Gates, and my mind went blank. I went, oh, well, it didn't go blank. Gates. It immediately started lighting up with all of the things that Gates meant. And now we're shifting into a map that I forgot to look at.
With awakenings that we don't know yet.
Yes. In terms of, like, broadly speaking character draft, though, I have to admit, like, Name Chaotic looked really comfortable on that Zentaro. I think they could easily pull that out again. Okay, this is Inky's Splash Zone that we're headed to. Glass Cannon Demolitionist start. I mean, Moff and Kui feasting here. It kind of doesn't matter what he plays. If he gets one of his main 3 picks, he is comfortable. This is a fantastic start for Kazan, Rasmus, and Finny goalie. So this is at least very favorable for the defensive end of Return to Form.
Yeah, I mean, if there is a defensive end to Inky's, it's definitely good. But I know what you mean.
It's a good map for Moffin's character. I think this is a very good map for his 3 main characters.
Yeah, especially I think Finny can be so scary. Glass Cannon Finny is just gonna charge up a little and it's gonna just launch everything at you. It's definitely a thing to watch out for, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see them open up Rasmus Kazan once again. Ban out the Finny, take the other one maybe, and see how it goes. But also, I mean, I think this is I think Name Chaotic has the potential to go quite crazy, because he's been playing. Name Chaotic wants to win, right? Name Chaotic wants to go to the postseason, wants to go to playoffs. Like he's been on fire all series long.
Are my eyes deceiving me, or are the teams switched around? Because RTF just banned Finny according to the stream overlay, and that
I think
seems like a misplay if that's what they just did.
I mean, Yeah, I feel like the Finny threatening Finny was the short play here, but they
They
are
have
on
to
blue
take
team, so they
Rasmus
can
or
still take.
Kazan now.
Yeah, so I feel like they will take Kazan here. I mean, maybe they wanted to narrow it down to just Kazan. I'm not quite sure. It's been a long day for these teams, right? And there's a lot on the line. They could have had, an issue. It could have been a misdraft. But no, they're picking Kazan here. Um, and I'm not quite sure. Maybe they always want to take Kazan here from Moffin, and they don't want to give Vinny over, so they don't want to open it. That's my best guess. But we see A. I think that's gonna be A's Kai, but also the Kai goalie is just so strong on Inkies as well. So I'm not sure.
I'm gonna be honest. My hopes for Polar Cortex here are not high. Um, I think they've just
Okay,
drafted a comp that Kazan goalie does really well into. Kai
Kazan
less
into
so. Kai can
yeah.
spell some problems for Kazan goalie, but at the very least, Zen Brawler, Moffin's not scared of that, like at all. At
I
all.
see. Okay, well they took Kai. That means RTF is open to pick their Estelle, and I believe that's going to be Leo Leon's Asher, and it's the full on the Atlas. So I mean, I think it's kind of like from Polar Cortex. It's kind of like a hey, this worked last time. I mean, it's probably going to work again, right? But if like you said, I think Kazan into Zen is pretty good in terms of goalie brawler matchups, and Moffin is very very good on Kazan on the side start. This demolitionist up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I really disagree with letting the Kazan through. I feel like if Polar was going to ban anything, it probably should have been Kazan. Um, it's going to be really, really tough. It's going to be really, really tough, especially because I feel like the Fool on Atlas is going to have a bit of a rough time against Asher Estelle on defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, like, just in terms of both offense defense matchups, Return to Form has the winning comp here. I think this is going to be a really uphill battle for Polar Cortex. We'll see if they can prove me wrong.
Yeah, if there's a time to show and prove, now's the time. There's both teams have, their well, more so Polar Cortex. They have playoff spots on their line, and these are games that they want to win. They're taking this seriously. It's gonna. There's nowhere to go back. If you lose this, it's over. If you lost last game for RTF, that's okay. They have Inkies. If you lost the first set, that's okay. If you lost first map for Polar Cortex, it's okay. They had Gates. But now both teams, if they lose on Inky Splash Zone, it's there's nowhere out. They're at the mercy of the other teams who play. So we have it here. We have 3 demolitionists versus 3 glass cannons.
I don't know how I feel about 3 demos. Obviously, Moffin wants the demo, but I'm a little surprised that Leo and Hungry Boy also opted for it. I would have expected them to be on Glass Cannon. Maybe Leo goes size, but I think speed is a little too valuable to give up. We'll see, though. Okay, I mean, barriers go down for the side of Polar Cortex, so they're making progress here, but Moffin also isn't level 2 yet, so he's not, like, really a real character right now. Now he is level 2.
Now he's a real character. And immediately there's pop-up, pushing Name Chaotic away. Name Chaotic's also level 1, so no Power shenanigans quite yet, and same can be said for everyone actually, except for Moffin and A, who get to play the full game of Omega Strikers. And we see Celestial Intervention coming out immediately. The players are getting unchained. We have Crystal Thorns unlocked. There we go. That's what Estelle can do when they hit level 2. Leo is about to show us what Asher can do when they hit level 2, and that's the Pass Splitter ability, and they get the barrier off that. So equalize barrier count. We have a flip both used. The Aqua Cannon is up here for RTF, and a great Giga Blast stalls out Leo's positioning, and they get it through Moffin with the power of the Zentaro Dash. So here we are. We have Polar Cortex taking the first point in our final game of the series.
Yeah, I feel like that was a bit of a lucky break there from Polar Cortex, but maybe they'll be able to replicated again. It is a power play for the side of Return to Form right now. And Moffin and Leo are both quite close to flip here. Name Chaotic does also have a flip, though. Might be able to do something fancy with it here. There we go. There's the flip, but it gets immediately called out by Hungry Boy. Well done there. And they defended away from that corner. Really good defense from Return to Form. Kind of been one of the mainstays of this series.
Yeah, the bottom, or I guess top, depending on where you're looking at it, the corner of Doom here, waited out. A is looking dangerously low, and the Aqua Cannon is up. A has to give up position here. Rotating upwards is the full Crystal Thorns enough to take out the battered and bruised A, and RTF just have to play around the Taro. But the Bulls holding on quite strong, even using the core flip there wins, but often is going to just get the core back there with the crooked leverage, gets it in, does Leo Leon, points equalized, and both teams are putting up a fight.
Yeah, and that was the size difference there for that goal. Leo Leon having Demolitionist meant that the Asher secondary hit both the full and the core at the same time, stunned it all the way through. So he's been vindicated for the Demolitionist pickup. I don't know about Hungry Boy having demo, but you know what? RTF are looking comfortable here, even though Hungry Boy did just have to burn that flip.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to become the winning team, be on the right side of history. You know, if you win, everything you did was right. If you did wrong, if you lose, everything you did was wrong. And they take the barrier now. They're going to get the Aqua Cannon, and it's going to be another scary push coming out from Moffin and co. Leo Leon is there to pull ready with the secondary, but still Hungry Boy gets the court, holding with the Oni's blade, but unfortunately not quite enough. And there we go. We have a more of an Inky's point there, and we have an RTF lead.
What an insane strike war of the Atlas primary from Leo right there. I mean, really nice abuse of the bigger strike hitbox from that Demolitionist to get it past the Fool's primary. It's really tough to strike war the Atlas primary, without a doubt. So a very... And rewarded with the goal immediately after, right? So well done from them. 2 flips to their name as the Aqua Cannon comes up. It's defended away for the time being.
Aqua Cannon played this time on the side of Polar Vortex, and they actually get Celestial Intervention, but unfortunately a little too slow to head back into position for Leo's flip. Now we have first set win from RTF.
Yeah, set MVP falling over to Leo Leon. This is a bit of a tough draft. Rapid Fire goes away pretty quickly. Team Player and Fire Up are both on the board here. Those are kind of the big, heavy-hitting items. Who's going to go Fire Up? Really? Wait, why is Fire Up going this far down?
Probably goes.
Why is Fire Up not getting picked up? We're going Reptile Remedy? Okay. All right. Forget Fire Up. Catalyst stocks out the window. I mean, not out the window. It's still a good awakening, but it's not as good. Now that you don't have that Fire Up awakening. That was not at all how I expected that draft to play out, but we're jumping into set 2 now. All good.
All good. I mean, maybe, since it's Inky's, the points end very quickly, so, not as much orbs. Not sure, these guys are pros. I'm a challenger at best. But A rotating up top side gets the Giga through Moffin. Celestial Intervention coming out, name is healed back up. A unfortunately doesn't follow the core, but we have the Aqua Cannon right there. Unfortunately, no follow-up means that Hungry Boy gets the core down. Back towards pressure for RTF. There we go. There's the dash. There's a path splitter. A holds, and the Fool is looking healthy with their cooldown. Nice piercing shot means that name has to make a decision right then and there, and that wasn't the right one, unfortunately. It doesn't work out, but we do have double flips here. Name uses 1. Piercing shot perfect from Hungry Boy. Denies Name Chaotic's goal. And Leo Leon is looking very low. Very dangerous, but still has an opportunity to make stuff happen. And it's going to be A's Giga coming out. So we see A trying to get the kill using the flip, taking the Asher flip off the table. Hungry Boy is the only one on RTF now. Okay, there we go. We have Moffin with the flip now, and that was a little scary there from the Fool. Thankfully, the core doesn't connect with his secondary, and Moffin pointing the core out around. We have the pass splitter down towards the bottom. This is a very dangerous position, but we still have the out there from the Fool. We can push waiting, but it's not going to be happening, and unfortunately, the Fool has to let that opportunity pass. And they're still holding onto their barrier is Polar Vortex, but things are looking very, very heated as overtime comes now.
Yeah, overtime up. core speed up. Team player on Hungry Boy means they can really send this core some prodigious speeds. But Name Chaotic is dribbling around him quite effectively. And the Fool with this Siege Machine is doing a good job of keeping it on the enemy side of the field. Moff and Kui saving this flip. The Fool saving his as well, but not saving the barrier. A manages to get it away with the Giga Blast, but the Aqua Cannon is up, and Leo Leon pushing up. Hungry Boy with the Rose Warp secures it. RTF take another point.
Yeah, I mean, RTF's defense seems very, very strong. There's been like 2, 3 Aqua Cannon pushes there from Polar Cortex, and RTF held it on, and they just needed 1 to seal the deal. Well, we have the Giga. Unfortunately, it means that the barrier is taken, and now we have the Aqua Cannon push. Muffin is waiting. Hooks the core in. Leo has to flip, and the Fool, unfortunately, misses the strike shot. There we go. 2-0 lead just like that.
Yeah, 2-0 lead. RTF is looking comfortable right now. Very, very comfortable. I'm trying to think about what the win conditions are here for the side of Polar Cortex. And I mean, kills are one of them. Yeah, if you're able to kill and get power plays going, that'll work. But I don't know how reliable that will be. They don't have the most damaging comp. You can get, you know, an Atlas ability here and there, a Kai ability here and there, but really most of the burden is on Name Chaotix and Centauro to deal damage if they're planning on making that their win con. That being said, they are the ones with the barrier advantage here. It's going to be hard to defend against without that barrier, but Moffin is very comfortable in the open net.
Yeah, I think I see what Polar wants to do. They want to get the barrier first. I mean, they have Kaizen, Atlas. They're going to be advantaged on kickoff, I think, compared to Kazan. And they want to get the Aqua Cannon. They want to get the goal, but the Aqua Cannon into goal part is very, this is the one that's looking a little suspicious. The Fool and Name Chaotic both burn to flip to hold that Aqua Cannon push from RTF, and now both barriers are open. What do you do here if you're Polar Cortex? So Name Chaotic dribbles, waits out the piercing shot from Hungry Boy. The Rose Warp is gone too, but Leo Leon is on the other side of the field, and they have a flip, and they're going to use it and get a goal. So RTF are looking very strong in the macro side of things right now.
Yeah, it just seems like they're able to more consistently make plays happen on offense right now. Hungry Boy with this team player and Leo Leon with all of these hit stuns and just taking up so much space as Asher. It's really doing a lot. And it looks like Hungry Boy is so confident in their position right now. He's actually willing to take a Chrono Boost here, even over Hot Shot or any of the Speed Awakenings in this draft, just to deny it away from A. A will settle for Spark of Agility, though, instead. We actually have an Among Titans Zentaro at the back of the draft, opting for that instead of Deadeye. I'm a big fan of Among Titans Zentaro.
Yeah.
I don't say I pick it much myself, but I'm a big fan of the idea behind it. And I think that if you're playing the character correctly, he can absolutely make it work. So I'll be interested. I'll be interested to see if that's, if Name Chaotic's able to cook stuff up with it.
Yeah, Name's so far is doing good. And now size is also equalized between the other members, but still the Aqua Cannon push into Leo Leon's, loving Asher hands just always connects with the net. And this is so scary. This is if you're Polar Cortex, right? You don't want to be down 0-2 in sets on the final map of the series here.
Yeah, for sure. I also want to take this time to point out that Mop and Kui has consistently been one of the lowest levels in this lobby now. Some people, including myself, like a few months ago, might have looked at that and said, oh, that means he must not be doing much. No, that's because this dude is playing a hyper-efficient defense. He is not having to touch the core much at all to do his job as a goalie, which if you're playing goalie right, is exactly what you want to do. You want to clear it out using as few tools as possible and as fast as possible. Now, that being said, A and Name Chaotic got the better of him there, did kill him, and then immediately scored on him when he respawned. But Boffin is doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely one of the things that is hard to catch, but you did, and I think that's awesome. And I think Polar Cortex have kind of converted to, okay, we're gonna try killing them now, which kind of worked if you're off position, but I don't know if Moffin will make that same mistake twice. So we see that top corner barrier push coming out. The Muffin very smooth with the clear, just one stroke to Leo Leon, and then there's the offense. And it gets past Name Chaotic. There's the offense again. And Name, nice push with the primary. Piercing shot assists Leo Leon in clearing it. And the Pool's trying to find the way up and out so that they can link it with Name, who uses the EI Rush, unfortunately, is held. Crystal Thorns coming out is held by the Pool, who has a defensive flip here. And Leo also has a flip to answer that. So first flip burn, the Pool holds onto their own flip, and they're looking to find an offense. And A, trying to get it through Leo Leon, but has to run away because they're looking very low. Name Chaotic has a core flip to work with, and it's going to dash in, trying to answer Moffin's angle, but it's very clean. Gets it out to Hungry Boy using Crystal Force to push it through, but that top corner once again is being attacked by Polar Vortex, and RTF hold on. RTF hold on to that barrier once again, even through Name Chaotic's flip. But there we go. A's Barrage is going to help Name Chaotic get that barrier, and they have a play through the Aqua Cannon, unfortunately unable to get it there. Polar Vortex are playing a little hurried. They want to end these points quickly, but they need to connect with the Aqua Cannon, if they can do it. Name Chaotic gets the core, piercing shot makes him lose his timing once again, has to redirect it to where Moppin could get it. Nice hook from Moppin, and the Pool gets it away from Leo Leon time and time again. A has to flip, waits out everything, but still that gives Leo Leon time to reposition, and Hungry Boy holds onto the flip. Paper Blast coming out, Strike Shot coming in, setting up for Name Chaotic. The core is going so fast in overtime, and Hungry Boy has the team player using the piercing shot, gets the barrier, and now Aqua Cannon chance coming up for Muffin, unless they can find something. Polar Vortex not quite yet, but they do get the core out from Aqua Cannon. Both teams' cannons are out, and the Pool continues on with the flip. A holding the midfield, but the team player propped core is so quick right now. Muffin holds onto the core flip once again. Core going to the lower side. Leo Leon gets it to the Pool, who has the Aqua Cannon chance right now, using the Centauro passes to get core to Aqua Cannon, but Hungry Boy using the piercing shot to thwart that. And now we see Leo Leon just hover over the Pool, stunning him at the right time. And just like that, RTF are on match point.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I mean, Moffin and Hungry Boy just take up so much space on defense. So much space. Like, I don't blame Polar Vortex for not finding these opportunities. It really does feel like an indomitable defense. And they have the energy advantage too, and they have the barrier advantage as well. They might just end it here. Leon with the assist from Hungry Boy sends it in, and that's the series falling to return to form. An incredibly convincing victory in that game 3. Put Boff and Kui on this Kazan, and there is nothing that this team can't accomplish. That was a seriously impressive series.
Absolutely, and that was just, I mean, they worked so well together. Leo Leon trusting their backline on defense, sitting on top of the Pool, and it was just so hard to get it past that Asher. And as we saw, when A and Name Chaotic got the barrier first, they really struggled to get past the backline. Hungry Boy Muffin played really well together, and you know, if Leo Leon gets the core, if they get the barrier first, they can use that Aqua Cannon to just give it to Leo Leon. And it's so hard to beat that Asher situation 1v1. And I think on Ikis, we talked about the comp, we were asking, why is there no Vinny? At the end of the day, it didn't matter. The Asher kind of stepped on everything. And very good game here from RTF. And now I believe they're just squarely locked into 5th place.
Yeah, and a very, very fun team that I look forward to seeing more of. If they're locked into 5th place, I'll be excited to see what they cook up in playoffs next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Polar Vortex, they are down, but not out. They can still make playoffs if some things happen. Demon Time had to beat EKC, which they did. Bombardiers need to beat Bozo Bunch. And Rat Pack needs to beat HMG. And both of those games, I think, are going to be pretty close. If those happen, they need to play a tiebreaker. So, like I said, they need to pray to some multiple gods. They need to contact every player that they need. They need to PayPal some things. But Polar Vortex can make it in, and I think that will be really exciting if they can, because I think Polar Vortex played really well today, especially that Gates game. Big fan.
Yeah, that was a very fun series to watch. We'll be back with even more of the North American Strikers League after a break. We're only just getting started for our series for today, so stay tuned. More coming your way after the break.
Point of grand finals, a long journey, all comes down to this. Looking for a passing lane, there's the opening on the outside, the pass, it's wide open, a beautiful shot to the corner, they've reached the summit!